Will you help me, Henry?
Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
There's all sorts of folk around, and the roads can be dangerous. That's true enough.
It's folk that are dangerous, lad.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl, and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young, and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? Clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
She didn't pack up her stuff. I don't think she was planning to be gone for long.
I told you, didn't I? Pavlena wouldn't run off.
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her. Take care now.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
Aye, I saw it. Over there, beyond Zhelyov, right?
Why, that's it. Everything fell into the Kalchak pond. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off, but what can I do?
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Semin ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast. And for Taylor Bartushak, I was carrying expensive fabrics to make dresses for the occasion. If you only knew how much coin I spent on this.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too, but what can I do? So, what will it be?
I'm searching for Pavlena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets. Do you know anything about her?
That herb woman Božena's daughter. I don't know nothing about her, and I don't want to know. They ain't welcome here. Bis bald, mein Freund.
I'm looking for a young girl who's gone missing. Her name is Pavlena, and she sells baskets here sometimes. Do you know anything about her?
Is she pretty? If she was pretty, I'd have noticed for sure.
So, you haven't seen her?
No. So either she wasn't here, or she's ugly.
Take care.
Guten Morgen.
Have you seen a young girl here? Her name is Pavlena. She wears a headscarf and sells baskets.
I don't know no Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon. Gott sei mit dir.
God be with you. What would you like?
Have you seen Pavlena around? She's a girl from Zhelyov who sells baskets here sometimes.
I don't know her, but you can ask my father. He'll probably be in the rat house somewhere. Farewell, my friend.
You refused to get me more last time I asked.
So it won't come as a surprise when I refuse again.
And what...
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye, I know her.
Do you know if she's been here in the last few days, Master Bailiff? I'm a bit worried about her.
I haven't seen her myself, but you can ask around the village. Try the houses along the road to Zhelyov. She'd have to pass that way.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother, but then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much, but she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
Why did you drive them out of Troskovitz? What happened?
Bozhena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with births. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
Has Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
Well, I don't think that's likely. Pavlena left all her things at home.
Still and all, you could go and ask Roman if he's seen her or not.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovich is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the herbwoman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlena still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Bozhena sent me to look for her. When she left, she was heading here.
If I was you, I'd go and ask at the rat house. Or Yezhek the cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Yezhek's a drunken sot.
Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Bozhena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Yakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife here. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Yakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Bozhena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Yakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
What's this Yezhek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him, so he figured Pavlena might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Yezhek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks.
And do you think this Yezhek might have done something to her? Like abduct her because she scorned him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently, he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
You're looking for Roman? I also need to find him. To ask if he knows where Pavlena is.
That sweetheart of his? Well now, I hadn't thought of that. They could be together somewhere, so you can help me look for him.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
Well, I don't know about Roman, but I've been at Pavlena's, and it didn't look like she was getting ready to leave.
She might have done it in secret, and she'd have reason enough. Believe me. Best to go and look in Roman's house. That should clear things up.
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great. That is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined, whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something for insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles, so I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere. I'm sorry.
Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Well, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is, under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him. See you later.
Christ, there must have been a fight here.
This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here.
It's covered in blood. Used as a weapon, maybe. This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good.
If I give it to Mutt to sniff, he might catch a scent. A trail of blood. I should see where it leads.
Here, Mutt. Search.
Stop there! Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat. I swear to God, don't try any tricks. Turn around and go right back where you came from. One false move and she's dead. I mean it. Don't move, you horse son. Who the fuck are you?
That's none of your business, you stinking coward. Let her go right now.
Watch how you talk to me.
If you hurt a hair on her head, your own mother won't recognize you when I'm done with you. I'll hack you to pieces and throw you to the pigs, like the filthy piece of dirt you are.
Shut up and save your threats. You take one step towards me and I'll slit the girl's throat. And then I'll deal with you. I asked you who the hell you are.
My name is Henry. I'm from Skalitz.
And what the fuck do you want here, Henry of Skalitz? Who sent you?
Her mother sent me. She's worried about Pavlena.
Shit. I might have known that old witch would send someone. Kurva. I never wanted it to end like this. You gotta believe me. I just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, but then that fool Roman got mixed up in it and... I never meant to kill anyone! Shit!
Take it easy.
Don't fucking tell me to take it easy! How did you get here? My dog Bristly was guarding the entrance. What did you do to him, you bastard? And where's my brother? He should have been here long ago. Talk, or I'll slit her throat.
Don't worry, your dog is just fine. I gave him the slip.
You treacherous rat! You wanted to sneak up on me from behind, eh? Well, Bristly will be waiting for you.
I haven't the foggiest idea who your brother is.
Slavobor, they call him Straw. He was supposed to come here, not you.
Sorry, I don't know any Slavobor. Or Straw.
We'll see if he turns up, or if you're bullshitting me.
Why are you doing this? Why pick on Pavlena?
It's Yakesh's doing. Bozhena killed his son. He was always on about paying her back for it. And he's got a huge fucking farm and 2 daughters to marry off. He'd never give them to ordinary farmhands, unless he owed them a debt.
So you did it to get into his good books?
It was the only way. I don't want to spend my whole life shoveling shit.
What are you talking about? Who did you kill?
That idiot Roman. He was trying to defend Pavlena. But it was an accident!
I don't know what more I can tell you. It's time for you to make your mind up.
You don't want to burn in hell, do you? Repent before God, and he'll forgive you. Let Pavlena go.
She knows everything. She'll tell on me and I'll be fucked!
You still have a way out. You let her go, and I'll persuade her to keep her mouth shut. I swear to you, she won't tell anyone anything. Isn't that right, Pavlena?
Mm-hmm.
Sakra. Oh, all right. I'll let her go, and I hope you two aren't lying to me. I can always find you again.
I'll give you my word. And now set her free.
All right, all right. Just take it easy.
You swine!
I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
You killed him. But he let you go.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
Well, maybe he did deserve it, but he was giving himself up. That was dishonorable.
Like there was anything honorable about what he and his crony did to Roman. I'm glad he's dead. And now I'm going home to Ma. Are you coming with me?
Sorry, but I want to clear something up before we go.
What's that?
Are you all right? You're not hurt?
No, I'm fine. Just a few scratches. It's nothing.
How did you get here?
Me and Roman were going down to the stream. He went back to get something, and I went on ahead. Those 2 bastards jumped me by the stream. I don't know what they wanted to do to me, but Roman stepped in. Only one of them grabbed a rock and...
I know. You don't have to say any more.
When it was all over and Roman was lying on the ground, Otter tied me up and dragged me here. I tried to make a run for it, but that bastard set his dog on me.
Do you know why they wanted to hurt you?
Yakesh put them up to it. For a long time after they chased us out, I didn't dare go to Troskovitz. Ma always warned me not to. Only then, I met Roman. I should have known the people there hadn't forgotten about us. And that Yakesh still wanted revenge.
Tell me something about Roman. What was he like?
He was a woodcutter in Troskovitz. We were... together. Sorry. I can't talk about it now.
What exactly happened? How did Roman die?
He was trying to protect me. If he hadn't come along, I don't know what those beasts would have done to me. Only that big brute grabbed a rock and smashed Roman over the head with it. He fell straight to the ground. I could swear he was looking at me the whole time, even though he was lifeless, like he was trying to tell me to run.
That's all I need to know.
So, can we please go now?
We can go. I'll go with you.
Good. I don't want to spend another moment here.
Of course.
Let's go then.
Here we are. Pavlena's fine.
Pavlena, let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
They abducted her.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
They were hired hands from Troskovitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Yakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Yakesh? I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I'd be glad to help.
Yakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred. We'll never have peace as long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
I, understand. And I agree. I'll do what you ask. It's only right and just.
You will? It really must have been the will of God that you crossed our path. Thank you, Henry.
The Lord be with you.
How could such a thing happen?
Can I ask what happened between you and that midwife, Pavlena? I heard you banished her from the village because of some mishap with your wife.
That was no mishap. The witch killed my son and damned him to hell.
Wait a moment. Start from the beginning. What do you mean she killed and damned your son?
My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhina is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa, send for Bozhina! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhina came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
I'm sure Bozhena didn't want to hurt your son. She was trying to help.
Help? By killing my son and condemning him to damnation? I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So don't you tell me Bozhena was trying to help. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
I understand your pain, but it wasn't Bozhena's fault. She saved my life when I was wounded and lost in the woods. She's a good soul.
That's all well and good. But believe me, that witch will never wash clean her sins.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olena are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Actually, I have two fathers.
What? Don't tell me your mother was a loose woman.
Hey! I won't let you talk like that about my mother, you asshole.
Fuck you! If you go around starting on folk like that, don't be surprised if no one wants to talk to you.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
I came here to finish with you. You're done with ruining Bozhena and Pavlena's lives. Luckily, Pavlena survived your attempts, but you won't survive.
What? I never did anything to Pavlena. What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind?
It was your farmhands who abducted Pavlena. Why would they do that of their own accord? They told me everything. You wanted to take revenge on Bozhena, to lose her child, too. So she'd know how you felt. You said it yourself when you were drinking with them.
For the love of God! It was in the tavern! It was the booze talking! I certainly didn't give them any orders. And if they did something, it was of their own free will. I swear by all that's sacred.
Why should I believe you?
Listen, I'm willing to make amends with Bozhena. I'll never forgive her for not baptizing my son. But Pavlena shouldn't have to pay for her sins.
What do you propose?
I'll send Bozhena compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them. And those two fools of hands, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself. I swear to God, Božena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Božena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Božena will understand that.
Greetings. Do you need something?
About Yakesh.
Is it done?
I didn't kill him, because I finally managed to get him to agree.
Agree? On what?
I told him everything, and it was clear from his reaction that he wasn't directly to blame. His farmhands did it all by themselves. He was so sorry that he gave me coin for you and Pavlena in recompense. It's quite a lot of money. Pavlena could use it.
And you really believe him? That he'll leave us alone?
Well, I don't think he'll ever forgive you. But I believe he won't try to hurt you anymore.
I hope you're right. I'd hate to regret it later. Thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. You should keep half the coin.
No, I can't accept it. Pavlena will need the money more than I do.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Keep it.
Henry, what would we do without you? God himself must have sent you to us. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. I'll be forever grateful to you. If you need anything, come and visit us. We'll be happy to see you. Take care, Henry.
So, how are you doing?
Well, not bad, all things considered. I mean, with all that happened over the past few days.
I understand. I didn't want to upset you. I was just wondering if you had everything you needed, and so on.
You're so sweet, but we're doing all right. Don't worry about us. What we need and can't make ourselves, we buy. We earn some coin from my baskets and Mother's medicines, but mostly we live off what the forest provides. Ma taught me about every flower, root and mushroom, so I pick a lot of things. Ma can cook a hare like no one else, so I bring a lot of them. I can hit one at 30 paces. Sometimes we even eat venison. I can shoot a deer at 50 paces, but don't tell anyone.
Of course. You can trust me. Hitting a hare at 30 paces, that's some serious marksmanship. I'm not sure I could do it. Perhaps you could teach me a few tricks.
I'd be happy to, but don't expect any miracles. You just need to know your way around the forest and practice a lot. And when you live alone in the forest, you've got plenty of time for that.